Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. My name is Nurin Halisa binti Kamal Arifin. My metric number 11 DPI 18F 2027. I would like to present about the aviation insurance. What's aviation insurance? Aviation insurance is insurance coverage geared specifically to the operation of aircraft and the risks involved in aviation. Aviation insurance policies are distinctly different from those for other areas of transportation and tend to incorporate aviation terminology as well as terminologies. Aviation insurance is limits and clauses are specific to aviation insurance. Aviation insurance also provide coverage for hull losses as well as liability, for example, passengers' injuries, environmental risks, and third-party damage caused by aircraft accidents.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. E and my number metric 11 DPI 18F2030. Okay, today I will present about history of aviation insurance. Aviation insurance was first introduced in the early years of the 20th century. The first aviation insurance policy was written by Roy of England in 1911. The company stopped writing aviation policy in 1912 after bad weather and the resulting crashes and air mid-cross loss on many of those first policies. The first aviation policy were underwritten by the marine insurance underwriting companies. The first specialist aviation insurance emerged in 1924. In 1929, the Warsaw Convention was signed. The convention was an agreement to abolish terms, conditions, and limitation of liability for careless by air. This was the first regulation of the airline industry as we know it today. In 1931, Captain A.G. Limplux, the British Aviation Insurance Company's chief underwriter and principal surveyor, said of the new industry, aviation in itself is not inherently dangerous, but to an even greater degree than the sea. It is deeply unforgiving of any careless, incapacity, and or neglect. Realizing that there should be a specially industry sectors. The International Union of Marine Insurance, short form IUMI, first set up an aviation committee and later in 1933 created the International Union of Aviation Insurers, short form IUAI, made up of 8 European aviation insurance companies and pools. US Airways Flight 1549 was writing off after this change into the Hudson River. The London insurance market is still the last single central for aviation insurance. The market is made up of the traditional Royal of London syndicates and numerous other traditional insurance markets. Throughout the rest of the world, there are national markets established in various countries. This is depends on the aviation activity within each country. The US has the largest percentage of the world general aviation fleet and has a large established market. No single insurer has the resources to retain a risk the size of a major airline, or even a substandard proportion of each list. The catastrophic nature of aviation insurance can be measured in the number of losses that have cost insurers hundreds of millions of dollars. Most airlines arrange fuel fat policy to cover all aircraft they own or operate. Okay, that's all for my part. Now I will pass the net to Sanders. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Shwada binti Edi Usman. My matrix number 11 DPI 18F 2026. So next I want to briefly explain about the history of aviation insurance. Aviation in itself is not inherently dangerous, but to an even greater degree than the sea, it is terribly unforgiving of any carelessness, incapacity or neglect. So the right picture showing the Captain A.G. Lamplugh, Chief Underwriter, the British Aviation Insurance Company, 1931. Next, I will continue explaining about the history of aviation insurance step by step when it was first started. So, it was first started in 1911, first aviation insurance underwritten in the Lloyd's insurance market. So, we go through the next year, which is in 1912, Lloyd's temporarily ceased underwriting aviation due to weather-related losses at an air display. So, many early aircraft were flying boats. Insurance of aircraft, traditionally referred to as aviation hull insurance, as first insured in the marine market. So in 1914 until 1918, we continue with development of commercial aviation interrupted by the first ever World War. In 1999, far-sighted Lloyd's underwriter Cuthbert Heath started the British Aviation Insurance Association. So we continue in 1927. Head insures Charles Lindbergh's period of St. Louis transatlantic flight for a total $18,000. In 1929, Warsaw Convention established terms, conditions, and limitations of liability for carriage by air. Next, in 10 years later, started in 1939 until 1945, World War II aviation technology advances significantly, including invention of radar, aircraft pressurization, and the jet engine. Post-war Lockheed Constellation was valued at $850,000 and the Boeing Stratocruiser at $1,500,000, more than the value of an entire pre-war fleet. So the arrival of the jet age in the 1950s brought significant challenges to the insurance industry, including many losses. The explanation of history of aviation insurance continues with the last 3 points. Aircraft values rose significantly as each technological advance prompted another jump. The introduction of the B747 in 1968 reached a new peak of total $25 million. And we can see in the 1970s and 1980s saw a rise in international hijacking and terrorism. Last but not least, on the 11th September 2001, there is one big incident happens regarding of aviation insurance, and this incident was one of the worst atrocities covered by aviation insurance. The incidents restricted insurance cover for many years to come and raised questions about contract certainty. In conclusion, I hope you guys find these videos useful, and that's all from us three. Thank you. Bye.